massacre in 1987, 42 Muslims died. 23rd May, Maliana massacre, 72 Muslims died. Muzaffarnagar riots, 8th October 1988, 60 Muslims died. Badaयूं riots in 1989, 28th September, also 27 people dying. Do you know who was ruling Uttar Pradesh? Let me tell you. In Delhi, the governments between 1980 and 1990 were Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi, and between 1980 and 89 there was VP Singh, Shripati Mishra, ND Tiwari and Veer Bahadur Singh, all Congress governments in Uttar Pradesh. Blooper number 1. Then he says lying down and all that. Now, you know, everybody in India do Charan Sparsh, they do Shashtang Pranam. Now, is he going to ridicule these abroad? Number 3, at the event where he was to go, the national anthem was used for mic testing. Stopped in between because people were sitting, walking around, and then the excuse that came was they were just testing the mics. Mr. Tehseen Poonawalla, I want to ask you, look at India's growth story, look at India's position in the world, and Mr. Rahul Gandhi's complete lack of a reality check. What do you have to say?
Good evening, ma'am. Thank you for having me on the show. As you said in your introduction that India has ended the financial year, the government data is projected at 7.2% GDP growth, which does make India one of the fastest growing economies in the world, a bright spot in the world. Congratulations. Except, ma'am, that at 7.2%, if the government says we've ended our GDP for the year, the first quarter of this GDP of this particular year, our GDP was at 13%, and the second quarter was 8.4%, which means our third and fourth quarter have come down to about 3%. That does not show an increasing GDP, that shows a falling GDP. There is a massive, massive, massive problem there, which somehow we don't want to address the elephant in the room. Secondly, and this is the more important point, that for the first time in our history, our annual manufacturing GVA growth, which is basically the backbone of our job creation, has fallen from 11.1% to just 1.3%. Manufacturing growth has fallen to 1.3%, and private consumption, that's fallen down to 2.8% at constant prices for quarter 4. If consumption is down, manufacturing is down, therefore our GDP is falling down, and that is a severe crisis. And to divert from all these crises, we have the government coming up with attacking Rahul Gandhi, who basically the government says all sorts of banal things about him, but comes out in full force to attack him. My question to the BJP spokesperson is simply this. Please tell us 3 things, and I would end here. What is this government's plan for artificial intelligence, Web 3.0 for the future? Forget the past, talk about the future, the 80s, the 90s, talk about the future. How are you going to create jobs? Because unemployment is the highest in this country. Therefore, NCRB data says 1,65,000 fellow citizens of ours committed suicide, most of them for lack of job, for unemployment. Second point that I want to ask the BJP spokesperson. 2,25,000 of our fellow Indians gave up their citizenship, the highest ever. 10 lakh high net worth individuals left this country and went. Again, most of them because there is a problem in our economy. Why aren't you addressing it rather than attacking Mr. Gandhi? Except for the top 5, and I have nothing against the top 5. Corporates do a great job for our country. The per capita income of our country has decreased. When it increased by 145% when the UPA was per capita GDP was in power, it's only come down to, it's increased 49% in the last 9 years. Why hasn't the growth at par with our GDP grown per individual? Because the wealth is concentrated in the hands of the top 5, and there's nothing wrong. The top 5 are serving our country, but it's not percolating down. Therefore, you see these suicides, and this is government data. Can you answer these specific questions?
Mr. Poonawalla.
Well, first of all, there are 2 templates. One where there is Bharat ki Badat, and second where there is Bharat ki Badnami. And guess which side the Congress is on. On the one hand, from Joe Biden to Prime Minister James to Prime Minister Albanese, whether it's the Morgan Stanley report, whether it's the GDP figures, all are giving a thumbs up to Badhta Bharat. But look at the kind of statements made by Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi says all the instruments of power are with the BJP RSS. Last 3-4 debates I've seen, Tehseen and all the Congress people say that Himachal Himachal jeete, Karnataka jeete. So is the fact true that all the instruments of power are with us? Then how you won the election? So first, Bharat ke loktantra ki badnami. Then Rahul Gandhi says that agencies are being used to target us. Supreme Court tak gaye the. And when Congress talks about Aam Aadmi Party leaders, that time they say the investigation is perfectly fine. That time it is fine, but on us it is not fine. That means Bharat ke court ki badnami. Then they say that Dalits in the 1980s, well, that's a good admission. It's not actually a blooper. Even a Band Ghadi shows the right time once in a day, so they, or twice in a day. So it has shown the right time in the case of 1980s. But look at the statement made. They say about Sikhs. Jagdish Titler, the murderer of Sikhs, is in your party. Jagdish Titler ke alawa Sajjan Kumar was defended by your party. In the 1980s, the biggest riots took place under your watch. Muzaffarpur, Maliana, Meerut, Hashimpura, Bhagalpur, all of these riots, Jalgaon, Mumbai, Delhi massacre, all of them took under your watch. What have you done on those riots? And then Mr. Tehseen Poonawalla, they do not stop at just that. In the attempt to do opposition of Modi, they do opposition of Bharatiya Sanskriti also, wherein the Dandavat Pranam, which is something that we do before our divine or before somebody we respect, is compared to lying down. Tehseen Poonawalla, lying down on a couch is equal to this kind of Dandavat Pranam, where all your organs are touching the ground, and it is the most Sarvashesh Pranam that you do for your God or for your parents. So this shows the hatred for Indian culture, and this is not new. Even the Sengal, which is part of Indian culture, Tamil culture, has been ridiculed by Rahul Gandhi, and the reason he is doing this is because in the last 9 years, economy has gone from 11th to 5th position. In the last 9 years, they created only 70 airports. In 70 years, we built another 70 airports. They used to build highways at 11 kilometers per day. We are building it at 37 kilometers per day. Today, the fact is that the highest FDI, the highest exports, the highest foreign exchange reserves, all are during this period of time. 12 crore farmers have got 2 lakh crore as Kisan Samman Nidhi. How many Kisans have got their Kisan Karz Maafi in Rajasthan? Now he'll say we are starting it. 1500 rupees was supposed to be given to every woman in Himachal Pradesh. This was their promise. How many women have got it? 300 units were supposed to be given free in every household of Himachal. How many units have been given free? In fact, you have increased the price of electricity in Himachal. Therefore, to evade the questions on their broken promises, they start targeting Prime Minister Modi and they end up targeting Bharat. I just have one question. Today, the national anthem was insulted, Bharatiya Sanskriti was insulted, Bharatiya Loktantra was insulted and undermined, and today's Bharat growth story has been insulted. Tehseen Poonawalla, what agenda you have against Bharat?
Can I just
You can
answer one
oppose
line?
Modi ji.
Okay, Tehseen, respond.
One line.
30 seconds.
I gave facts and figures. Not one answer could the BJP spokesperson give. But since he spoke about investment, let me expose them again. The highest GDP, the highest investment to GDP was 35.8% under the tenure of the greatest Prime Minister of this country, Dr. Manmohan Singh ji. It has fallen today.
What was
to
the inflation
29%,
rate during the greatest Prime Minister's tenure?
Sir, don't interrupt me.
Arey,
It's fallen
inflation
to
bhi batao
29%.
greatest Prime
It's
Minister
fallen
ka.
to 29%. Sir, you said about, sir, please don't interrupt me.
You,
Sir,
Tehseen Poonawalla, you are
ma'am,
the
this is very
master in the
unfair.
art of
I never
cherry picking
interrupted. I
facts
just want
and
one
then
line.
giving them a
Ma'am, I
spin
just want
as
one
per
line.
your
It is very
convenience.
unfair. I'm going to end my. I want
Tehseen
one
Poonawalla, you
line.
can
Today
stop
you
throwing
said,
tantrums
ma'am,
and
I
answer the
request
question.
you,
What
I'm
was the average
request-
inflation rate?
Ma'am, I'm
10%.
requesting
Okay,
you.
What was the average?
allow him
I just
to
want
speak.
one
How
line.
much
It's
will I
very
allow him
unfair.
to speak?
You had one
Just one
sentence
line.
to say.
I had one sentence. I wanted to add one more. He interrupted.
Okay. One sentence.
The investment to GDP ratio is not just fallen. Let me give you one more thing. Since he said that India's rating has gone up globally, India on the passport index was 76 when the greatest Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh ji left office. It's fallen down to 144 today. So please do not mislead viewers.
Just give me one line.
India's-
Just one line.
No,
Just
no,
one
no,
line.
one
Just
minute,
one line.
one
Just
minute.
one line. Just one line. Tehseen Poonawalla, just tell me how many houses for the poor did you all build in UPA 10 years and how many houses have been built today? Mr. Facts and figures, please tell. 25 lakh and today 3.5 crores. Chalo, the debate ends here. Thank you very much.
Suhail said, 1 minute now, Tehseen Poonawalla. Calm down, calm down,
Allow me to
calm
answer.
down, calm down.
Chaliye.
Suhail said,
It's very unfair.
Suhail said, the question here is,